So hello everyone. Here I already have Minishift installed, and today I'm going to show how you can deploy Couchbase on Openshift. First, let's start by starting our Minishift. So we can type Minishift, Shift, Start, and then we wait Minishift to start. It will take a while. Now that our mini shift already started, let's first clear the screen. So let's first export some environment variables here. So now we have Openshift running. Let's clear again and come back here, log in as a developer. Great, let's create our project. And good. So my Minishift version has a problem with it's a bug when you try to log in as an admin. So let's Minishift version. So when you watch this video, maybe this bug's already fixed. But I have to run Minishift. Add-on, apply, admin user, and now I can log in as an admin. So let's come back to administration, to the documentation, and say admin. Cool, admin. Cool. Now I am logged as admin, and I can create the QSON resource definition here. Good. Now we already created the custom resource definition, which is the operator definition. We can clear here now. The operator needs some special permissions to manage the Couchbase cluster. So let's create those permissions here. Good. And now the developer also needs some special permissions to manage the Couchbase cluster. So let's add those permissions for the developer user. Good. And now we are ready to start configuring the role-based access control. Let's clear again our screen. I'm not going to in a lot of details of what's going on in each step of the role-based access control. I'm just execute all the commands, and then yeah, you can check the official documentation, which goes step by step explaining what's happening. So let's just copy those commands. Great, and then role binding. Let's add the polis. Another role binding. And then let's come. Great. And now, if you didn't hit any error so far, we can finally start deploying our cluster. So first, I have a few files here. All those files will be in the video description and in the blog post. So let's first deploy our operator. So let's show you guys the content of the file. You don't need to worry about this. So you just copy the whole file. So we can run OC create -f operator, and then we wait until the operator is deployed. So OC get pod, Yeah, it's still starting. So let's wait until the pod starts, and then we can continue deploying our cluster. Let's check if our operator is already running. So we'll see, get pod. Good. So what we are going to do next is to create a secret for our user and password. This user and password is the one that we are using to log into Couchbase. So this secret is basically a Kubernetes secret, so it's very straightforward. We only have here the username, which in base64, which stands for administrator, and the same here, the password, which stands for in base64. And okay, so let's do this. So OC create -f secret. Good. And now our we already have the secret. Then we can create our cluster now. So let's do this here. We have this Couchbase cluster YAML file. So we run OC create -f Couchbase cluster, and cool. So now if we run OC get pod, we see that now we have at least our first pod is already being created. So if we come back to this file, what we have here is basically the definition of the database we just created. So we have here we have how many memory we want for each service, the secret that we are using here in the auto secret, what is the name of the bucket, some other bucket configurations, how many instances we want, in this case 3, and all the service that we want to run in this in those 3 nodes. We can still leverage multi-dimensional scaling here. So later in this example, in this video, I will show how to run different service in different servers. But for now, let's just deploy this very simple cluster with 3 nodes and play with it. So here we can come back here and clear. Let's again run the same command to see the status. So our first node is already running, and then at some point it will start the second one and the third one. So let's test again to see if our cluster is ready. Cool. So now we have all 3 instances running. We can forward the port of one of the instances to my local machine in order to access the web console. So we can do OC, and that's for the port, so port forward, and then I'm forwarding this pod to my local machine. Great, so we can come back here, localhost 891, and here is our cluster. Then we can access with administrator, password, and magic. Here is our cluster running with all the 3 nodes. Okay, so here is when things get really interesting. What happens if we lose a node, for instance? Let's say we lose CB example 002. Openshift will notice that this node just disappeared, and will start a new one. And then the Couchbase operator will recognize that there is a new node, and then it will join this new node to the cluster, and will trigger data rebalancing, because now we need to move some data that was in those 2 servers, CB001 and 0, to the node just that we just created. So let's do that. So first we come back here to our logs, and then we run oc get pod. Let's queue this node here. So oc delete pod cb example 002. Go. And now you'll see that Kubernetes automatically, Openshift automatically recognized that the node was down. So here we lost the node, and Couchbase also recognized that this node just disappeared. Here we can see that all three nodes are already rebalanced, and now we have CB003. We can do the same thing again, and no problem at all. So we can come back here and say, yeah, let's kill 003 now, and then we run oc delete pod. Let's kill 001, for instance. And the same thing will happen. If I run get pod, we see that 001 no longer exists. And then we will the operator will automatically fail over the node, and it will trigger data rebalancing. So again, the data that is in once the new node is created, the operator will join the node to the cluster and then copy data, some of the data from the CB00 and CB003 to this new node. This is all done automatically, and that's one of the things why people usually decide to move to Kubernetes, because you have this. So if you have a very large node or cluster, you can handle those things automatically. Here we already started the rebalancing, and then we will wait until it's finished, and yeah, basically there's no action to be taken. Let's then just wait for the rebalancing, and then we can simulate how to scale up and down a database. So now that the rebalancing has finished, let's come back to our definition here, and let's scale down our database. So instead of 3, let's have 2, right? Let's have just one instance. This instance again will run out of service. So let's scale it down. We can come back here, and then we can say OC replace Couchbase cluster YAML -f here. Good. So what will happen here? The operator will not kill all the instance, all the other 2 instances. He will first choose one of the instances. Like say he will start by killing node 004, and then it will copy the data, do this kind of rebalancing, and move all the data from 004 to 003 and 001. That's how we guarantee that even when we scale down, we are not losing any data. So it is a gradual process, and what we'll notice is first one node will be killed, and then rebalancing will be triggered before killing the node. And so now that the rebalancing has finished, let's come back to our definition here, and let's scale down our database. So instead of 3, let's have 2, right? Let's have just one instance. This instance again will run out of service. So let's scale it down. We can come back here, and then we can say OC replace Couchbase cluster YAML minus F here. Good. So what will happen here? The operator will not kill all the all the other two instances. He will first choose one of the instances, like say he will start by killing node 004, and then it will copy the data, do this kind of rebalancing, and move all the data from 004 to 003 and 001. That's how we guarantee that even when we scale down, we are not losing any data. So it is a gradual process, and what we'll notice is first one node will be killed, and then rebalancing will be triggered before killing the node, and then the second node will be killed, but we will also move data out of this node before we kill it. So as I said here, you saw that first we killed the 004, then 003 was here, and then now all the rebalance finished, and we have only node 000. Again, if you want to scale up our database, let's say, yeah, we want 3 nodes again, we can come back here again and say, yeah, please replace, now I want 3 nodes. So, and if I want run again get pod, I see that I still have 1, and at some point now I have 005, and at some point I'll have 0006, and the same process will start again. Like as we added a new node, the operator will realize that there is a new node, a new Couchbase node, and will join this node to the cluster and trigger data rebalancing. That's part of what the operator do. There's a lot of other stuff also, like consolidating logs and recognizing some other failures. But that's the beauty of operators in Kubernetes. It can automate a lot of the work of DBA. So the DBAs can spend most of the time trying to improve queries and all those other things instead of taking care of the infrastructure of the database itself. So now we wait until this rebalance finish, and then we can play a little bit with multi-dimensional scaling. So now the rebalancing finished, so we can come back to our file definition, and let's play a little bit with multi-dimensional scaling. So instead of having 3 nodes running all the service, let's change a little bit this and say, hey, now we have 2 nodes running data and index, and 1 node running query and search. So we come back to our our command line and run OC replace -f Couchbase cluster. Good. And now we just wait for the service to be rebalanced. Now you see you get pods. We see that the operator is basically starting a new node with running just a specific service, then we copy data to this new node, and then we delete the previous one, because we can just queue service in a node. There's a whole we have to restructure the data itself. So that's why we spin up a new node with just the specific service that we have specified, and then we cop data and all this kind of thing. So I will pause here, and then once I finish, I will come back to show the result. So at this point, it might have finished. So let's run here. We'll see get pods. Good. So now we have just 3 pods running. So let's forward the port to check our service. So we'll see, but instead of forwarding to 000 because it no longer exists, let's forward to 8. And then we come back here to the web console. Administrator, password, and here we come. Here, yeah, and here we are. We see that we have 2 nodes with data and index service, and 1 node with full text and query. And that's basically how you can play with Couchbase and Openshift.